What's up, you guys? So you've probably been wondering yourselves, like I've been wondering to myself, why haven't I bought the new generation of video card yet? I've been thinking about that a lot myself, and I guess that's kind of why I'm making this video. I think I'm probably going to skip this generation because we see the same thing happening with this new 4000 series that we saw with the 3000 series, where they're selling out like hotcakes again. And I see the 4080 series creeping up into what the 3090, the top tier cards pricing scheme. There's a 4080 at my local micro center for a whopping $1,300. Now, one of the main hesitations for me not wanting to upgrade to the newest, latest, and greatest, obviously you got to pay to play if you want to get into that sphere. But I'm seeing how inflation and stuff and like everything else and the supply chain shortages have affected the price of the cards. At the same time, like there's some truth to that, I think, but there's also probably a lot more to it than just that. I think Nvidia probably loves just, hey, let's just throw a price out there and see if people will pay for it. And it kind of seems like people are doing that. I know my local micro center had a whole bunch of 4080s, 4090s when they first came out, and they had them for a lot longer than the 3080 series. But I think the 40 series is it was less affected by supply chain stuff and everything like that. Whereas I think the 3000 series was a lot more artificial, like scarcity. But the pricing is just outrageous. It seems like it's got to be close to double, or at least pretty close to double what the competitive card of last gen was. I think the original MSRP for like a 3080 was like 700 or something like that. So we're getting close to double, if not double, and people are still buying them, and I can't really figure out why. But I think one of the main reasons that I'm probably going to skip this generation, and I think probably a good fair amount of other people will probably skip this generation, is because this DLSS, SSS. If you saw my last post-scriptum video, even post-scriptum, a little indie studio like that, they put out DLSS in their game. And I'm just like, dude, that's going to give people that do have access to the 30 series cards and even 20 series cards extra longevity from that video card. And, obviously I'm on Nvidia's website here, so there's plenty of bias and stuff. But, when you're playing like Cyberpunk and stuff, Cyberpunk was a great example of that. And a lot of other games too, like Battlefield 5 and stuff. I tried DLSS on there, and boy, that makes a huge difference, especially on, I don't have it out with me, my gaming laptop, which has a 3060 in it. I can just turn on DLSS and DLSS SSSS, and all of a sudden, poof! I'm like, you're getting better FPS out of the game right there. Just go ahead and play better FPS. And it's not, like I said, it's not even just say AAA game studios that are implementing this. Little indie studios, like the people that made Postscriptum, Squad, and other games that are gaining popularity in that genre. It's not just the AAA studios that are implementing this feature. And obviously, AMD has something very similar too. But I think this is like a huge thing that, while Nvidia probably doesn't think that it's going to cost them sales because they're still selling their cards, but probably a little bit slower than normal, maybe. I'm not sure. I have no data to back any of this up, but this is kind of just what I'm seeing is they're still having some cards in stock. They're selling out slower than they were the 30 series cards. So it's just adding functionality, like technology wise, into your card, like into your hardware, your cards like this. It's huge. But I think that's part of the reason why I'm skipping this generation, because I'm finding more games that I like to play that are, even Tarkov, another game that I love to play. They have implemented DLSS, and it's just like stuff like that is like huge in this thing, and it's only going to get like better as the AI can learn stuff better, and the programmers can teach it to learn better and stuff like that. It's going to be more beneficial to people. They're probably going to hold on to their cards longer, whereas like there is a giant performance difference between like the 30 series and the 40 series from what we've seen on paper and stuff like that. But like, I just don't know if it justifies the price necessarily right now, because I still am rocking my 3080 and it's doing just fine in all my games. My laptop with a 3060 in it, still doing just fine in like all my games. Maybe if you're like a guy that's got to be, that's got to have that 4K monitor, 120 FPS, well, then you obviously got some coin, because those monitors aren't cheap on their own, but then you got to have a computer to support it too. Like, for the average Joe, I think this DLSS thing is going to be like, yeah, okay, I can just save a few bucks and spend my money elsewhere when we're already penny pinching a lot of places anyhow, So, yeah, like, oh yeah, it shows right there. There's Tarkov, Mist. Ooh, Mist? Cool. Unreal Engine is obviously huge. Cyberpunk is on there. Fortnite. Wow. Like, so there's a ton of people that play Fortnite with probably lower end computers and stuff too. So like, there's a ton of games that are starting to implement this AI learning stuff. So I think that's pretty much why I'm skipping it. I'm sure you guys would love for me to buy the next generation card and review it and look at it. But then again, there's already better tech channels that do that for me. So that's really wonderful to have. But I guess I just wanted to kind of rant and rave and share my thoughts on DLSS, and I guess that, yeah, you have to let me know in the comments below. Like, is this a valid reason for skipping the 40 series? I know the jump between the DLSS on the 20 series versus the 30 series was a huge difference too. So if you did find the 30 series or bought a 30 series when there's a huge price decline, just before the 40 series came out, man alive, like, that was a good time to buy a 30 series, because they were like, I think a lot of the cards were, especially the third-party cards, were below their normal MSRP. So that was like huge. And yeah, so if you were one of those people lucky enough to take on that deal and that bargain at that time, man, I think a lot of people are probably gonna be like, yeah, I think this is the better time to not wait. Like, I'm sure there's still tons of people running 1080 Ti's and stuff out there, but man, I tell you, like, I think this DLSS thing is going to be a huge thing for the industry to keep people from buying the latest and greatest, hopefully. And maybe that'll bring the prices back down. We'll have to see what AMD comes out too soon here, because I know they got some new cards on the way. So I'm kind of excited to see what those are like and how their price to performance ratio between Nvidia goes and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting to see, you guys. You have to let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the future of this area is, because I mean, I love tech, I love upgrading my hardware and stuff like that, but it's just like, it's hard to justify, especially with how expensive they are, the new cards are, and I guess, and how frequently they're popping out with these new cards, it seems like. But I don't know. We'll have to see what the future brings, you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you prefer to see more, tech hardware stuff on this platform. And like I said, other channels do it better than me. I can't even touch them. I don't have the time or the staffing to even touch that aspect. But you know what? I if people would be curious enough about it, I'd consider it. But like I said, $1,300 for a 38 or 4080. Woo wee. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of money for something that's going to depreciate over the years and rapidly. I don't know, you guys. Just my thoughts and rantings right there. Like, comment, consider subscribing if you're new here. Yeah, we got to figure out some more stuff to do here. So I'm working on it. Don't worry about it. Take it easy, be well. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think's going on and whatever. See ya.